The S&P 500 ended slightly lower, pressured by the financial sector after the Federal Reserve announced a widely expected interest rate hike but kept its rate outlook for coming years even. The 0.25 percentage point rise in the overnight lending rate, which marked the third hike this year, came along with an increase to the Fed's 2018 predicted gross domestic product growth forecast to 2.5% from 2.1%. The Dow and the Nasdaq ended higher, but the S&P could not sustain gains in choppy trading after the Fed statement. The S&P was dragged lower by a late session tumble in bank stocks, which tend to get a profit boost from higher interest rates. The financial sector's 1.3% drop for the day suggested, however, that investors may have expected a more hawkish Federation. "It's a fairly dovish statement, which is positive for risk assets," said Bill Stone, Chief Investment Strategist at PNC Wealth Management in Philadelphia. "Always the worry with the market is if the Fed pushes back too hard and takes away the punch bowl. It just does seem that they're setting the table for that at all," he said. The Dow Jones Industrial Average rose 80.63 points, or 0.33%, to end at 24,585.43. The S&P 500 lost 1.26 points, or 0.05%, to 2,662.85, and the Nasdaq Composite added 13.48 points, or 0.2%, to 6,875.80. The consumer staples sector was the strongest of the S&P's 11 sectors, with a 0.5% gain. The S&P utilities sector paired gains after hitting a session high to end up 0.3%. Investors were also keeping a sharp eye on progress in the Republicans' push for a U.S. tax law overhaul that would involve a corporate tax cut. Shortly before the Fed news, congressional Republicans said they had reached a deal on tax legislation, and U.S. President Donald Trump said he would back a corporate tax rate of 21%. The equities market is also reacting to the possibility that Congress may have a tax plan on the president's desk by the end of the year, said Quincy Crosby, Chief Market Strategist, Prudential Financial, Newark, New Jersey. Earlier in the day, a Labor Department report showed underlying consumer inflation slowed in November, possibly affecting the pace at which the Fed hikes rates. Investors also assessed Democrat Doug Jones' victory in a bitter fight for a U.S. Senate seat in deeply conservative Alabama on Tuesday. Some participants said his win could mean trouble for Trump's policy agenda as it narrows the Republicans' already slim majority in the Senate. Copyright Raw 2017.